What is up, everybody? Good afternoon. Legend and Molly coming at you from the Norwegian Sun. In this video here, we're going to show you all around the cruise ship, give you our thoughts, show you everything from the bars to the food to the attractions, the shows, the staterooms, anything that you can see on the cruise ship, we're going to show it off to you. Starting here at the heart and soul of any cruise ship, and that's the pool deck. Definitely the pool deck here feels a little older. I mean, this is an older ship. It's a 2001 ship. And you got 2 small pools, 4 hot tubs in the middle, and they're pretty much busy at all times. Speaking of busy, down on the deck 11 there is the very, very busy at all times pool bar. Pro tip for you, as this is an open bar cruise. Up on deck 12, just above the pool deck, is the Champs Bar. And if this bar is open, only open on very select times, come up here instead of going to the very crowded pool bar, as this one's had way less waits. At deck 12 forward, you'll find the Spinnaker Observation Lounge, and this is a really cool spot. For one thing, it's a lounge. The bar service only operates in like the end of the day, like 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock it opens up. Now, its main purpose on the ship, this is your karaoke bar, but it also is a wonderful, wonderful place to just hang out. It's air conditioning. It's normally pretty empty in here except for karaoke times. Bar is open over there. That's always a good sign. And then it's also one of my favorite places to watch, like sailing in or sailing out of ports. Because, as Molly's going to open this door for us, if you walk through the lounge, open one of these big heavy doors, and you get out here, just so it's kind of a, not necessarily a hidden deck, but it's going to be your coolest place to watch you sail into or out of a port, as it's a little tricky to find, so most people don't normally find it. And there's another one on deck 13, but you have glass in the way and bearings in the way. So it's definitely, you'd want to be over here on 12 up front. So we say goodbye to the Great Stirrup Cay Private Island. So one more tip here in the Spinnaker Lounge. If you happen to be sailing away during bad weather, this is going to be where you want to be. You can get all of the view, but you're going to be inside in the air conditioning, not out there in the elements. Up on deck 12, just above the pool, is also the sports court area. So you got a full-length basketball court where you can play some different games. I played 3-on-3 and sweated my face off and lost.
Or soccer.
Yeah, you can play soccer too. You also have Shuffleboard, a cruise ship classic. I don't think I've seen anyone actually play the Shuffleboard the entire time. And then you get into my favorite part of the sports court I'm going to show you off in just a moment. So one thing I really like up here in the sports court, my favorite thing, is they got this kind of like pseudo driving range where you just come up here and you try to hit chip balls into the target. Now, I am a terrible golfer, as you'll see right now. Terrible. Not so bad. Not great. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Also, if you turn around, ping pong. Welcome to the very small buffet area here on the Norwegian Sun. We're showing you off what dinner looks like, and you got a soup station over here with cream of vegetable and French onion. Got a big healthy salad bar for your salad fans. I'm not a salad fan, so blow right past this. Tonight's dinner looks like a Mexican-style buffet. It's some Indian-inspired dishes as well. You've got some dal, some masala, Mexican chicken over there. Beef fajitas, Mexican rice, grilled flank steak. Flank steak's really tasty. You've got beef quesadillas. And so far on the cruise, the buffet's been kind of hit or miss. I loved when the Welcome Aboard buffet, when we first got on the ship, on their carving station they had prime rib, which I think, no, they had beef brisket. And then the first night they had prime rib, which was really good as well. They do always have a carving station over here. Tonight's roast pork loin. And then I love the bread selection. This is very similar every day, and it's delicious. I love they got pretzel bread. That's the one I really like. And they also got this focaccia, which has a nice cheesiness to it. Now the buffet is very small, so you will get it to be very busy at most times that service is going on. But you got to keep in mind that there is that spur buffet for lunch and dinner and breakfast over in Moderno. Here's some of the desserts: flan, brownie, coconut cheesecake, yelling gentleman. Over here you got a pasta area, and there's a make your own taco station on this side. But I'm going to show you my favorite part about the dinner buffet right now. Yes, my favorite part of the dinner buffet is crepes. A fresh to order crepe stand.
Yes, sir.
It's so awesome. You get to pick your kind of fillings and stuff that you want. Whipped cream, chocolate, berries. It's amazing. A lot of times if I don't like my main dining room dessert options, I'll come up here, grab some crepes, because that is where it's at. They've also got some really, really weird decor in the buffet area. Like these little windows with like moss kind of stuff. Out behind the buffet on deck 12 is a big old bar. And you get one of the buffet dining areas too. You can eat out here and watch the ocean and stuff like that. Also, the buffet does not have a lot of seating on the inside. I know I would much rather eat inside in the air conditioning, but that's not always the case. You might not be able to get a chance. And then outside is also a buffet that runs much longer hours than the indoor buffet and has more simple food. Like this is where you find kind of a buffet for more kids. So you'll find your burgers and dogs out here. The burgers were not very good. The dogs, well, it's hard to screw up a hot dog. So if you have kids, you'll probably spend a lot of time over here. On deck 11, between the sports bar and the Moderno Chusitaria, there is an arcade, and it's actually a pretty nice arcade for a cruise ship. A lot of times the arcades on cruise ships, they're not very good. You know, a lot of older games, things might not work. This one, it's small, but there's a lot of really modern games in here. And one thing I love about this cruise ship is that they have you can buy an arcade pass for $10 a day per person. You could get all the games you want to play, you can play, except for the prize games. So you wouldn't be able to play like, Stacker or the Plucky Dinosaur and the Crane games. But as far as the video games, if you wanted to play them, especially if you're a kid and there's not a whole lot of kid options to do, getting that arcade plan and just sitting here and beating Terminator and going over there and beating Transformers, like that would be a really cool idea. If you're a shopping person, deck 7 is for you, as is where they have all the shops. Once you get past this cool muralized ceiling. Now there's two different main shops. The smaller shop over here on the right, that's going to be all your jewelry stuff. So if you're a big jewelry person, go shop over there. And on your left over here is going to be a big shop that connects a couple different things. It's got your perfumes, it's got your tchotchkes and your knickknacks. So if you just want some like Norwegian logo gear, it's going to be in there in the back. And also on the left side is going to be your liquor store. I will say we're lucky enough that we get to go on a bunch of cruises. Their liquor prices on this cruise not good compared to the last few we've been on. We went on Celebrity and Carnival the last couple of cruises, and their liquor prices were well better than what we found here on the Norwegian Sun. Unless you're buying like high value stuff.
And this area is very, very cramped, so...
Yeah, in the evening time.
In the evening time, they had a raffle, and you could barely get
Yeah, like somebody had to come through with a wheelchair, and it was really tight. But they do have different sales every day. They do a free liquor tasting and things like that. Also on this level is the casino. Can't film in the casino, so I'm not going to, but the casino is very small. Very few table games, and...
very smoky.
Yeah. See, I've thought other casinos have been worse, but also like your table games, get ready to spend a lot, because like the limits for blackjack, I think it's like 15 on one table, 25 on another, and then there was like a high roller table that had like a $100 table. But that'll do it for most of floor 7. On deck 6 midship is one of your centers for nightlife on the boat. You have 2 big bars back to back. And your first one you get to is Bliss, and this is your nightclub. But it also serves a lot of different purposes. You'll have game shows in here. You'll have some trivia in here, and then you'll have your. Obviously, you can see some of the remnants from their art auction. They also do like one thing. There was a newlywed game last night. Slammed. You could not fit any more people in here. Standing room only. So if you want to do that, definitely. Well, the other ones were not nearly as busy, but if you want to go to the newlywed game, definitely get there early. And they do what they can. They bring in like a whole bunch of folding chairs. Like they do everything in their power to fit as many people in there as possible, but it's still just not enough. That's an event that I think they really should show in the theater, but they don't. But there, we have not been there for a late night party sing. I believe it is 18 or over after a certain time of night.
11 p.m.
Molly, are we going to the nightclub tonight? Party time?
Sure.
That's a no.
I don't know our plans.
Alrighty. Moving on, right past the Bliss Lounge is the Windjammer Bar, and this is your main trivia bar on the ship. Also your piano bar on the ship, and it is home to some wonderfully comfy chairs. And I do enjoy the like the ship decor and stuff. It's a very chill spot in here. A couple more things to mention here in the Windjammer. One, they have waitresses, and a bunch of the lounges have like a wait staff that'll come around and give you a drink, which I was not expecting with a free open bar cruise. And this one has snacks. Now coming at you from the back of the ship on deck 6 and 7 is the Stardust Lounge, which is their main theater show and stage area. Very, very small for a cruise ship. That's the one thing you notice. It's very small. Sightlines are not bad. None of the shows really filled up. So night 1, we're here on a 3-night cruise. Night 1 was a welcome aboard show. Night 2 was a comedian, and night 3 was their big production show, which was Rock You Tonight, which is essentially exactly what you think a cruise ship rock and roll review show would be. There's no sets, really, no storyline, just a bunch of singing, dancing, and they're very, very talented, I thought.
Oh yeah, they're giant too.
Yeah, like it was like a 20-person cast. Like it was a big cast there.
Giant band.
I would say I probably like the comedian the best out of the stuff. We didn't go to the welcome aboard show, but the comedian was very funny. Also during the afternoon they do movies in here. So we saw like we were drinking and watching Black Panther the other day. That's good. That might have been my favorite thing I saw in the theater, but probably the comedian. But there you go. That's kind of what happens here. So if you're a walker, a jogger, or just somebody that likes the ocean air, on deck 6 they have a really nice pathway that goes all the way around the ship, and a really cool place to watch sunset at sea, or just wander around, get out of some of the time. Sometimes the cruise ships get a little stuffy on the inside. Get out there, especially if you're hitting the open bar pretty hard. You might need to get some fresh air.
And then it's pretty cool because you can see what's around.
See the other ships and that kind of thing. One thing I would say, guys, if you have your choice of stateroom, whatever you do not get a stateroom on deck 6. These guys here, I'm not going to zoom in too much, but those are all staterooms with like a partially obstructed ocean view that people walk right by from when this opens at 8 in the morning to when this closes at 8 p.m. So if you want somebody awkward looking in your room 12 hours a day, that's your thing, come to deck 6, but I would avoid those rooms big time. I would rather have an interior, I think. Another important thing to note here on deck 6 is that these are where your assembly and muster stations are in the event of emergency. Chances are there's not going to be an emergency, but there will definitely be is the muster drill as soon as you get on board the boat. And unfortunately, some cruise lines and ships, you're inside in a lounge or in a theater. Not here. You are out here standing smacked in like smart sardines and right next to your neighbor. And it's not the best of times. Also, one thing, do not get the muster drill early. You don't get extra credit. Get there right on time. Maybe even a minute late. I did like that we saw a couple wearing shirts that said, muster drill, interrupting bar service since like 1928 or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's a fantastic cruise shirt. So from the back of the walking trail on deck 6, you get an amazing view. It opens up big to like about a 15-foot area, and you get just a great place to take pictures, a good place to watch sunset at sea. If you're looking for something different for sail away, like you want to get away from people, maybe you don't need to be near a bar, you definitely don't want to hear the cha-cha slide for the 8 millionth time in your life, come down here, and like as we always cruise out of Port Canaveral mostly, and sometimes in Port Canaveral, like the dolphins will play in the wake behind your boat, so this would be a great place to watch that. Here on deck 7 in the atrium area is the champagne and martini bar. And that combines two of my favorite things. I love champagne, I love martinis. Unfortunately, with this being an open bar cruise, they don't really have any of the drinks that you can't find anywhere else. So there's nothing really special about the champagne martini bar. Besides, it's super close to my stateroom, which is always wonderful. And you can sit here if they're doing some like music in the atrium kind of thing, and hang out, relax, and enjoy your drink. Now let's get down to what you're probably really interested in. If you're booking a cruise on the Norwegian Sun, chances are you booked it for the free open bar, as you get that with every booking. And I'm going to show you what the bar menu looks like. And so this is the bar menu. It's at every single bar. So this is, if you want some drinks, this is what you're going to get. These are like some of the different cocktails that they advertise. Now, obviously, you could get whatever kind of drink you want. You could go up there, and if you want to order, a mojito, you could do that. You could order whatever kind of drink you want. But that is some of the ones they recommend. More importantly, this is the big list here. These are all the liquors that are included with your beverage plan for free. So Bacardi, a bunch of different choices. Captain Morgan, Malibu Coconut. A couple of bars, they also do feature Bacardi Coconut, which is good because it's a little more pungent than the Malibu version. Vodkas, you actually have some really nice vodkas in here. Absolute, Kettle One, I Love Tito's, Sky, so that's a really nice vodka list. That's one thing that I was really surprised, how good these liquors are, Tanqueray or Bombay Sapphire, 1800 tequila. And then you got some other things, like I am not a brandy drinker, but I do drink the occasional whiskey, and I love Jack Daniel's Honey. That's a great drink. Fireball, a party beverage. I love topping off my Angry Orchards with Fireball, and they'll do that. Then my favorite after dinner drink is coming out and having some Baileys, and you can just walk to any bar you want after dinner, get double Baileys on the rocks till you drink yourself silly. Beer selection, not quite as great. Bud Light, Bud, Coors Light, Miller Lite, Sam Adams, Angry Orchard. International stuff's a little bit better. Got Coronas in the bottle or the can. Dos Equis, Stella, that kind of stuff. Also, some important things. Bottled water is not included with the free open bar, but your sodas and juices are. That'll pretty much do it for the menu here. Oh, the wine. See, I'm not a wine drinker, so I didn't even think about that. But you could, any of these types of wines, they are all included. When you sit down for dinner, they'll normally bring you over like a white or a red. But those are the kinds you get from the bar. All right, guys, I'm guessing this part really helped you out. If you have any questions about the open bar, let me know. So in my opinion, the best way to end your day here in the Norwegian Sun is by hanging out in the sports bar in Deck 11. They're open from about 5 in the evening till about 5 in the morning for food. Longer than that, the bar, and they have a nice bar with a bunch of draft beers. But my favorite part is the food, because they got a waiter service that serves comfort food. And check out this menu: buffalo wings, spin dip, a couple of soups, burgers, fish and chips. Molly got a prosciutto and mozzarella panini, Southern free chicken tenders. Minor spelling error there. But love the comfort food aspect. One thing I don't like, it's got like this weird like European sports network on, and it's not ESPN. So like I have not been able to see the scores of the baseball games in a few days. So that would definitely bug me if I'm not into tennis and soccer. That's what's been on most of the time. But I love the food late night or anytime. Like this kind of appetizer food is great. There are 2 main dining rooms here on the Norwegian Sun. At the back of the ship is the 7 Seas dining room, and in the middle of the ship is the 4 Seasons dining room. Both serve the same exact menu. The only difference is you got to be, I think, a little bit more dressed up to have dinner at the 7 Seas, and that's the one we've been eating at just because you get the back of the ship view. So here's what for dinner. This is night 3 on our 3-night cruise. And here's just to look for what's for dinner. You got the appetizers over here on the list: nochi Italian sausage, lamb sausage, vegetable spring roll. Now from beef slider down, these have been available every single night. Beef slider, salmon tartare, goulash. Not sure if goulash has been on there. I know French onion's been on there, and that slider's been on there. The salads. Then you go over here to the main. Ah, there it is. Prime rib, tilapia, seafood hot pot, sage and potato nochi, which is a vegetarian dish. Penne meatballs, chicken piccata, pork scallopini. This is a weird one. Greek beef and lamb, tzatziki, and then you got some that are available every single day. Quick shot here with the sausage and nochi appetizer looks like. Also got a French onion soup. Not my thing, probably this one. I love it with French onion soup with tons and tons of cheese, and this has very little cheese. So Molly got the Greek meatballs, which is a very, very different dish for them to be serving on a cruise ship. So I like points for originality there. I went for the tried and true prime rib. Can't beat that big, healthy looking slice. Real thick too. Like it's a big portion. Probably not gonna finish that. Here's the dessert list. Interesting stuff. Apple and pear tart tatin. Warm chocolate volcano, raspberry panna cotta, smudge, pineapple upside down cake, brownie s'mores, blueberry cheesecake. Lots of choices. Don't know what I'll pick. I'm not sure if I can do anything. I'm so full. The prime rib was massive. So we ended up getting dessert. Molly got the chocolate volcano lava cake. And I got a raspberry panna cotta. Interesting presentation with the panna cotta. Quick overview of what the dining room looks like. Just finished up my 3rd meal. I've really, really enjoyed the food on this ship, especially the main dining room food. Had 3 very nice entrees. Really enjoyed their appetizers. Sometimes I find appetizers on cruise ships to be very hit or miss, but I enjoyed them. I ordered 2 most of the time, and I never ordered 2. So big thumbs up to the food. Also, the service is pretty quick. You get in and out about an hour. Some cruise ships takes much, much, much longer. Deck 5 is home to the Atrium Cafe and Bar. It's kind of it's got a dual purpose. One side is like a lobby bar, and you can come here and get any of your alcoholic drinks. But this is also the ship's coffee bar. You can also buy some upcharged pastries and things like that. But if you want your espressos, your cappuccinos, things like that, probably a good idea to come over here. They also do some smaller scale activities, and they do some musicians in here. But like some cruise ships have like the atrium is a hub of activity. They do not here on the Norwegian Sun. And if you go around the other side, this is I don't really know what you would do with these desks besides complain. But oh, this is where you book your shore excursions or complain to get services for some reason.
Or if you need to pay in cash.
Yeah, if you need to pay in cash. Interesting that there's an onboard credit desk. That's the first time I've seen one of those on a cruise ship. I don't remember ever seeing that before.
No.
I find this neat. In deck 6, in the atrium area, they have all these different plaques on the wall, and you can go over there and read them. It's all from the Norwegian Sun's first trip to different areas. So this one's Puerto Vallarta. And then let's see, what do we got over here? That one's too long. All right. Reykjavik and Iceland. Iceland? I think it's Iceland. Bar Harbor, Maine. Newfoundland. But I think it's neat. Also how the different people welcome you with all sorts of things. Like some of them are really awesome. Like check out that little plaque with the sculpture on it. Like that's really neat. New Jersey, not quite as fun. On deck 11 is the Moderno Chuscaria, and upcharge dining is a huge part of any Norwegian cruise ship. There's about 6 different ones on this ship. Moderno's, you only pay one price, and then you get, it's pretty much, if you've been to a Brazilian steakhouse like at Texas Day Brazil, you get the kind of idea. One more important thing is if you're not doing any specialty dining, this becomes a spur buffet in the mornings for breakfast and lunch. At lunch it's pizza and pasta, and in the mornings they do omelets as well as some more limited items. But it's a good idea to come in here as it's probably going to be a less of a line and less of a crowd than at the major buffet. If you're on the specialty dining plan, deck 12 is where you'll be spending a lot of your time, as this small courtyard area is home to 4 of the 6 specialty dining restaurants, starting with Le Bistro, which is a la carte French menu. And also probably out of any specialty dining room on the ship, this one or the Italian one on the lower deck probably have the nicest dining rooms. Now that's Le Bistro.
The tables are really spread out.
Yes. Now coming over here, you sort of get a 3-in-1, as this is where you would come to check in for Los Lobos Cantina, the Teppanyaki, the Sushi Bar, and the Steakhouse. So all of those would come in here, and obviously some cool drinks and stuff. This is a new restaurant for the ship. I believe this came with the dry dock refurbishment. It's a Mexican-style restaurant. Moving along in here, you've got the Teppanyaki, which is a fun time. I love doing this back home. Now, one thing, they can't do the fire tricks at sea because fire's a big problem on cruise ships, and you just can't do that. Over here is the Sushi Bar, and then way at the end is the Cagney's Steakhouse. I will say, we did last time we were on a Norwegian ship, we did get the dining plan, and Cagney's was one of my favorite meals I've ever had on a cruise ship on the Norwegian Epic. I'm not sure I would like it as much here. The menus don't seem as great as they were on the Epic.
The table's super close together.
Tables are very close together. I believe it's also like a dining area for suite guests as well, for like breakfast and lunch. And then you also have this weird pathway here that walks right past some of your fine dining restaurants. The only specialty dining not located upstairs on one of the top decks is La Casino, which you enter. It's actually on deck 5, but you get there by coming on this area in deck 6. And this is the Italian one. We're stopping in this hallway just for the cool chandelier alone. So one interesting thing here on the Norwegian Sun is that when you do trivia games or activities, you get this activity card signed off, and then instead of winning like dinky little prizes during a trivia competition, you get these cards signed off, and then you redeem them at the end of your cruise, just like you would do in like an arcade kind of thing. So we have, looks like 13 points or so, and now it's time to cash it in for a big, big prize. Which is probably not going to be a big prize. I think we might win a water bottle. Something that's very much not a me thing on the cruise ships is the library. But they do have a ton of books. If you're somebody that likes to sit and read in the sun, they do have a large selection of books and things like that. Not for me. They also have some different games here. So, trivia, crossword, Sudoku, things like that. And then in the back area is a game room, which is not set up as a game room right now. Looks like there must have been some sort of a class back here. But sometimes there are a lot of tables, like last time I was in here, a lot of tables like this for playing games. In the atrium area on deck 6, they do have an internet cafe. If you don't want to buy an internet plan, you want to pay some money and catch up on what's going on back home, you can do that here on deck 6. And while most of the shopping is located on deck 7, there is one shop here on deck 6, and that is the Cupid Store. as a lot of the itineraries on the ship do go to Cuba. And if you, for some reason, did not want to go shopping in Cuba and just wanted to buy things on the ship, you could do it in here. In a couple places around the ship, you'll find these computers, and they flip back and forth between dining availability at your specialty restaurants. Like, if you wanted to book Cagney's tonight, you are pretty SOL until like 9:30. And they also show your times guide for all your activities. Like, if you don't have the app or you don't want to carry one around, you can try and find one of these TVs. So the word of advice, if you want to do Cagney's, book it early. Everything else seems like it's not a big deal except for the teppanyaki. So one thing I wanted to let you guys know, I saw this on the map, and as an open bar cruise, you might need this advice. The fish on the carpets in the where the staterooms are, they are always swimming towards the front of the boat. So it'll help you with your directions. It's something I'm not used to on a cruise ship is a chapel. They have a very small one here on deck 12. I'm guessing it's probably for like mass and weddings, I guess. You know, not something I'll be doing on the cruise, but you might be. So maybe the most bizarre thing on the Norwegian Sun is this. There's like a small kids pool with a little tiny slide right next to a hot tub. Kids are not supposed to go in hot tubs. And parents and people in hot tubs don't want to be around little kids. It is like the most bizarre thing.
And it's in the middle of nowhere.
It is. Like it's not near any of the other pools. Obviously filming this at night, so I don't look like some sort of a weirdo. We're not like, you know what I mean. Last but most certainly not least, let's show off the stateroom. We're in 7007, which is an ocean view stateroom. There's Molly. And we're just going to show it off. Kind of give you good. You can definitely tell that the room's been redone recently in some areas. Most particularly like the lamps over there near the bed. They do have a USB charger in them, which is which my camera does not want to zoom in on. There it is. It's there. Bed was super comfortable. Super duper comfortable. But it was kind of annoying because he gave us like 2 small beds. We walked in, we checked in our room, and yeah, and like it was 2 beds on different sides, and it took a while to get that fixed actually. But bed's super comfortable. Also comes with a little couch kind of thing. Not like the most comfortable of couches, but not terrible either. And it is an ocean view. We're recording this at night, so you get a view of nothing really. But a nice big window, nice ledge over there to put stuff on if you needed to. I will say, if you are on the Norwegian Sun, right now it's doing short cruises, but if you're on this for a longer cruise, Molly, I think you would have a kind of trouble putting stuff in here.
Yeah, but like the Epic had a lot of storage space. This does not.
No.
This is very, very limited.
Mm-hmm. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, Legend, that's great, but I want to see what the bathroom looks like. It looks like pretty much your standard cruise ship bathroom. Never really liked the curtains. Much rather prefer the ones with the doors. It isn't nice that they give you not only the mystery goo jelly, but they also give you like a bar of soap if you want to use that. We'll say the shower, while not very big, was super powerful. I thought that thing was gonna, it could take sand off if it wanted to.
And it gets hot very fast.
It does. Couple things that I'm not overly thrilled with our stateroom is the condition of the bathroom. Like you'd see right here, this is not painted very well. And then if you look at the bathroom door, like down there, it's rusting and chipped and that kind of thing. Like that's not really guest ready, I would say. Probably want to get that fixed. Stateroom I thought was a good temperature the whole time. Sometimes you get them, they're hot. Sometimes you get them, they smell. No problems with that. And that'll kind of do it. That was pretty much our cruise here on the Norwegian Sun. Molly, this is we get to do a lot of these cruises, and a lot of the reason we get to do these cruises is because you guys watch these videos. So first of all, to everyone watching, thank you guys so much. We have people come up to us on the cruise that actually recognized us from the cruise videos, so that's always cool. If you come see us, if you see us on the cruise, come say hello. Maybe we'll buy you a drink. Definitely here on the Norwegian Sun because there's a free open bar. But yeah. So what were your thoughts? What were some of your favorite things on the cruise, as well as least favorite things?
I actually was shocked with the open bar. I thought it was going to be a lot more like pre-mixed drinks and a lot more like well type.
Yeah, when I heard open bar, I thought I was going to get like nasty well liquors and Bud Light.
Yeah, even the pre-mixed drinks weren't that bad. I had a Bahama Llama that was pre-mixed.
They were few and far between too. Like I remember going on the Norwegian Epic weekend last year. You go to the pool bar and there's like 6 jugs of pre-mixed garbage.
Yeah.
So yeah, the open bar, and then one other thing with the open bar, maybe it was just our cruise. I was expecting drunks everywhere. I was expecting like the drunkest cruise ever, and I only had one incident like all weekend where somebody's like uncomfortably loud and drunk. It was not me, if you're
And he
curious.
did say it was he was out for the count later.
Yeah,
when we saw
yeah.
this. Gentlemen.
So yeah, that was a surprise how nice it was. And also, the bar service was quick. We never really had to wait that long for a drink.
No.
And also, when you're not putting your card down and signing stuff off, like the bar service is just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, it was very quick.
Oh yeah. One thing I forgot to mention also, awesome TV. Like, and normally, biggest
TV.
one I've seen on a cruise ship. And I'm a big fan of movie channels on the cruise ships. And this one, there was 2 different movie channels. There was like a newer movie channel and an older movie channel. And the older movie channel never repeated any of the same movies. And the newer movie channel was mostly movies that came out like earlier this summer.
Yeah.
And so I watched, like over the course of 3 days, I think I watched Infinity War from start to finish. Mm-hmm. And I was fine with that. I hoped that would come on every time. Not as big of a fan as Tammy or Book Club or whatever some of the other ones were.
I Feel Pretty.
I Feel Pretty was not in the 20 minutes I watched. After waking up from a nap was fine. And then, do you know what, let's end this conversation. You don't want to hear me talk about the movie reviews. So let's see. Food in the main dining room, loved it. Sometimes you go to the food in the main dining room, especially on a cruise ship like this, where there are so many upcharge restaurants. It could be, not so great, and especially on the first day, if like, if the food sucks, maybe they'll spend more money. Not really the case here. I liked my meals a lot.
The only thing is, both dining rooms had the same menu.
Yeah.
Which I felt was disappointing. What's the point of going to the other restaurant whenever it's the same?
I wish there would have been 2 different menus. Buffet was mediocre.
Yeah, it doesn't have many spices or seasonings. It's very blah food.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like, more spicy and curry and stuff like that.
Which like a lot of people would. Like, there's a whole bunch of Indian type people on this cruise.
Oh yeah, it's very bland food for the buffet. So I can see how the buffet gets very kind of.
But at the same time, there was some great stuff. I loved different. And when we came in that first day and the carving station was beef brisket, I'm like, oh man.
Or chicken cordon bleu. You never see that on a buffet.
It was pork cordon bleu. Chicken cordon bleu was in the dining room.
Yes. Okay. Pork. You don't see it on buffets.
No, you do not.
And
I also like off hours dining. Sometimes cruise ships are terrible with it. I thought they did a really good job. From like 9:30 to 1:30 in the morning, buffet has late night snacks, and you have that sports bar that runs all night, serving all sorts of like.
Until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So like I love that. Some cruise ships don't do so well with that. As far as I would say the negatives. I like having production shows every night, and we only have one production show, and it was okay. But I think you should do better, especially if your trip went through like a remodel this year. I would expect better and sets and more tech.
Well, it's still a very old theater, and you felt the age in the theater.
Yeah, but you could throw more tech in there: projection mapping, lasers, pyro. Mm-hmm. Like those could all be retrofitted no matter what theater. And we did not get that. Let's see. Anything else? I think the ship felt newer than 2001, and it's a smaller ship, but it didn't really feel small.
The layout is awkward, though, for some locations.
Like deck 5 in the dining room deck is weird. Mm-hmm. And then there's other things, like we're on deck 7, and if you go out and you take a left, the kids club is randomly at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
For all like 7 kids that were on this cruise ship.
And it's awkward because it's windows that you can look down and watch your children.
Hopefully your children. Yeah. You're some sort of weirdo watching other people's children after you've had 18 Bahama Mamas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why we have security.
Yeah.
That's
very
why
true,
that
very
exists.
true. But I had fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure where this goes after it ends up in Port Canaveral. But if this is near you... Miami? Like if this is for a short cruise, an open bar cruise, we paid $289 a person before the taxes and fees and that kind of thing. But for what we got, I thought really strong value. We went to the private island today. That was really fun. I love going to those private islands.
Another negative thing about the bar is there's no consistency. Some bartenders would pour doubles. Mm-hmm. Other bartenders were like, no, we can't do doubles. Mm-hmm. So there's really no consistency.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an annoyance. Yeah. But at the same time, if it's an open bar, I could just drink one and then drink another one. And there's your double. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching this review. I'm hoping if you're watching this, you're probably getting ready to venture out on the Norwegian Sun. If you have any questions or comments about the cruise, let us know in the comment section below. We'll do our best to get back to you if we know the answer from our adventure here. And thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Time to go do a little bit more drinking before we call it a night. Call it a cruise. Thanks for watching, guys.